Hey besties, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today we're gonna be doing a story time on when Boity had demons.
Madimoni.
Yes. So we're gonna be
right.
There's some parts where she knows and there's some parts where I know. Like parts where she doesn't know, I'm going to explain.
So what I remember, it was in 2014 and I was in grade 11 and life was going smoothly, baba. Life was just going okay. Nothing was wrong, no problems, no financial able. Like I didn't even have stress about a job. I didn't even know what adulting is. But anyway, so it was in 2014, yeah. And then what I remember was that we had left as a family and we went to the air show here in Boity. We went to the air show to see airplanes fly and whatever and do whatever. Then there was this man that I noticed there. And by noticed is that I just saw him. We didn't speak, nothing. I just noticed him. Like, you know, when you see somebody in town, you're like, oh, and then you pass. I saw that man. And then that's when everything started. So then I went to... we came back home. I was doing the dishes that night. So as I'm doing the dishes, I see like 3 people coming dressed in black. And they're walking from the laundry room to the kitchen. So when you're at the kitchen sink, you can literally, there's a door, and you can literally see the laundry room. Then those 3 men were coming my way. So I went to her. I went to her room and I'm like, hey, this is happening.
No, she did not tell me that.
I did, but I said to me, come sit with me because I'm seeing things. And you were like, no, bruh, like I can't come sit there. You said that. So after that, I went to my mom's room and I'm like, Mama, I'm seeing things and whatever. My mom's like, no, it's probably angels. But I'm here, so if ever there's anything, you'll just scream. And I'm like, who? You know when people are not taking you serious and the time you're very serious. I go back to the kitchen and I'm like, who? I can do this. I'm not gonna look that side. Nothing. Then I see them coming again. Go. This time they're coming closer to me. So now I'm screaming, going to my mom. And then she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm seeing people. She's like, you know what? Leave the dishes. It's okay. And then I had an episode that evening. So there isn't I just say episode because I don't remember anything that happened while I was in it. So I had an episode and then the parents prayed. Everybody was praying in the house. They prayed. And I went to bed. I went to sleep. I don't know how long my episodes lasted, but then I went to sleep. So after having an episode, which we'll explain later, after having an episode, went to school, normal days, whatever. Then I came back. Home. And then after I came back home, that evening, I had a second episode. So she'll narrate better about the church and whatever because I was like, I can't remember anything. She tells me what happened, but...
Yeah, so the second night on her episode, basically like every time when we pray or maybe when it gets dark, she sees those people like dressed in black and stuff, and for some reason they make her move as if she's a snake. Like she was you know how like, for example, like those episodes at church and then they take out demons out of people. She was having like the exact same thing, and then we had to take her to this other church. Driving to the church, and then as we were driving, we had to like drive from one lane to the next lane. We were driving like this because she was saying that these people that she's seeing are gonna make us cause an accident, and they're in front of us, they're at the back of us, and it was like really, really scary. When we went to the church, they prayed for her. She was moving, she was doing things. It was so scary. It was very, very scary. Now you can explain
Okay, so we came back home.
Yeah, we came back home.
So then I went to school. So there was this sir called Mr. Egbe. So Mr. Egbe was a pastor and my maths teacher. So we went into our maths class and he was teaching and everything, and then everybody went out the class. And as we were walking out the class, because I was used to walking with my friends, Bonanga and all that, he called me. He's like, no, come here. And I went to him. He's like, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, everything is fine. He's like, is everything okay at home? And I'm like, okay, yeah, everything's okay at home. What's wrong? Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, hi, boo, what's happening? He's like, oh, okay, take my number and give this to your mom when you get home. And I'm like, why though? But in my mind, in my head, give your mom this number and tell her that I'm a pastor. She will know what to do. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Then I go. Then after that, it happens that my mom, okay, so I left class and whatever, came back home, and after this was the third night. I came back home. After I came back home, everything was okay. Everything was normal for me. Then I went to bed in my head. So I went to bed to sleep. Then, Ganti, I'm having another episode. So I had another episode, and then now I gave my mom Mr. Egler's number.
She was running.
So now she knows the episode.
Yeah, the episode this time, she was running from, like, in our house we have like a hallway that's from the living room to like people's bedrooms. So she was running up and down, up and down, up and down. And that time I was really, really, really scared. Like, the way I was so scared, I was like frozen. Like I couldn't move because I was scared. Like, what if I move and then the people that she's seeing are where I'm at? I was so very scared. And then like all the time when they pray, it's like she becomes worse. Like, she becomes aggressive. Everybody's trying to touch her, hold her so that she doesn't hurt herself. Because at the time, like, she was moving like harsh and like pushing herself on the walls. It was really bad. It was really, really bad.
I'm glad I can't remember those things. So then, Mr. Egbe apparently prayed for me and I slept. And then in the morning, he gave me this cloth. He's like, you must wipe your eyes with it. And I'm like, because now I'm really, 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 really getting confused. Because even when I wake up at home, my mom is checking on me. Are you okay? Do you remember what happened yesterday? And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, I went to bed, I slept, I woke up. I'm just feeling very tired. But everything else that you guys are saying, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he gave me a cloth. And then he told me that after school, he's coming to my house that day. So, I'm in class, I'm using my cloth. I was writing exams by then. So I'm in class, wiping my eyes every 2 minutes because they were very teary. And I realized that when I took pictures, I realized that my eyes were very, very, very red. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, came back home. Mr. Egbe came with his this other woman from church as well. And then they came in, and then he said they came to pray. He's like, no, we came to pray with you guys and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Great prayer anytime, ready for that. Then, I don't know, I had another episode.
She had another episode. So in this episode, we were in the living room. So soon as we held hands, as soon as we started praying, she started screaming, wow! It was really traumatic. Like, she was screaming, running, moving, falling, moving like a snake. She was running from hallway to that door, and she was stuck in her room. They were praying in her room, putting her anointing oils and all those kind of crazy stuff that they use there at church. They were praying and praying, and the scariest thing is that when you don't pray, they say that the demons, they will come into you. So I was really, really scared. I was not even praying like the correct type of things, because when you pray for a long time, you even run out of prayer. So I was running out of prayer, and I'm just saying fire, but I don't even know, like. The way she was moving was really scary. And then our sister Bonolo's mom was pregnant with Bonolo. Yeah, so we had to hide like next to the burglar door and in between the burglar door and the door. So there's like a little space, and we were hidden there. And then they were praying for her. It took maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. They were praying, and then when it was close to coming out, they called us to pray more. We were praying, and then she was playing a game. She was doing this, but we are praying, and then she was busy doing
I feel him.
It was really, really scary, guys. And then finally the demons, they came out. But we still had to pray because now the demons are out, so they can just go in anyone. Yeah, so they came out, and that's how they came out.
Yeah, so as I was playing the game, apparently I called my friend's name with her mom,
and they were the ones that were bewitching her.
And then I didn't even know. I had never met her mom, but the mom came, and then
the reason
they told me that I don't know the reason, bro. I didn't even know
the reason
that I called
back
the
then.
name.
They called the name and they said the reason. The reason was that they were fighting for a chair to go into matric.
Oh, so they were fighting me for a chair to go into matric.
Yeah.
Anyways,
they wanted it to fail.
Anyways, by then I didn't even know that I was doing that. Only like after that, because Mr. Egbe asked them not to tell me what had happened. So I didn't even know who it was and everything. And the girl came to school the next day and she was burning. And then she went back home. She said she was burning. I don't know what, her body feels too hot or whatever. Like, she was just burning, and then she left and went home. And I'm like, I didn't know by then, so I'm like, I came back and I'm like, oh, mom went home. And then like, everybody was giving me the eye and everything. But Mr. Egbe told me that I'll see everything in my dreams. I'll see every single person that was there in my dreams eventually. So I think in 2018, 19, somewhere around there, I had a dream, and then I saw the man, that man that I saw at Waterloo from the air show. I saw him. I saw one of our family members, a man, and then this other one, I don't even know who he is, but they all from the same church, even my friend. So I'm like, oh, okay. So it made a bit of sense. It didn't make sense, made a bit of sense, whatever. And when I had the dream, I had that, like, I couldn't move. It was that I don't know what you guys call it in English.
Sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis, yeah, I had that, and I couldn't move and whatever. So I knew, oh, okay. And yeah, that's how it ended. And yeah. Oh no, that's not how it ended. Okay, so Mr. Egbe went home because it was December times. After giving my mom a report, he left, went home to Zimbabwe. He was still talking to my mom every now and then. Like, there was an incident whereby our neighbors got mugged, and then I told him, no, I was scared, blah blah blah. Like, he was sort of like my mentor. I told him that, yo, this is happening, and he's like, no, don't be scared, you will hear about these things, but they'll never happen to you anymore, blah 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 blah. Great. Then in January we go to school, he's not there. We call, he answers his phone, but then he says he's still in Zimbabwe. He'll be coming in 2 weeks. 2 weeks time, in a week. Then he said his sister passed away. And then my mom still asked, are you still coming back? Because like my mom still felt like a simple thank you was not enough for him. So they wanted to do something for him as a family. And then they kept on saying, no, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? And like, he's like, no, I'll be back. And then he stopped being online. He stopped chatting and everything. And then my mom's phone got damaged. So she stopped using that phone that had Mr. Egbe's number. I lose my phone. I can't even remember what happened to my phone. So we basically lost his number. At school, they didn't have the number anymore. He was not coming back. They let us know that he's not coming back. And I'm like, what? Okay, cool. A few years later, 2019, I get the phone. I get the phone that my mom used to use. So I put it on a charge and it switches on. And I'm like, yay. But I was just excited for another phone. Like, I always have spare phones. So I'm like, go to the phone numbers, see Mr. Egbe. The scream that I scream. Ah!
Oh my God! Wow!
I was screaming, and I'm like, you know what? Mama, I found Mr. Egbe's number. Then I go to the phone started bouncing, started showing television, what, it went off. And then I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. Let's charge it. Let's wait for it to finish charge, because it was still charging. I'm like, let's wait for it to finish charge, then we'll try switching it on again. When we switch it on, voila, nowhere to be found. So till this day, I still believe that Mr. Egbe was my angel.
Yeah.
I still believe that. I still believe that he was sent to the school for a reason, and I was the reason. He probably changed other people's lives that I don't know of, but for me, he was my angel, and he saved me. So yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell
To stay notified.
Thank God.
Thank God.